Beloved heart, before we begin, I have a special gift for you. If you've been feeling the intensity of Earth's rising plasma light codes and want to stay centered in your body and heart and energy field, I've created a free light language quantum grounding activation just for you. This transmission will help you stabilize, integrate, and align with the new frequencies flowing onto the planet. Simply join my mailing list. See the link that's in the show notes to receive instant access. Let's ground into the light together.
This is the transfiguration of the new you. Welcome, beloved heart, to another episode on my podcast. I'm Monica Bermudez, and we're going to be talking about money, but not in a traditional sense. So, if you haven't seen one of my episodes, which is about the transmutation or the energy of the currency and the money, check it out. But I'm going to continue talking about this because 2025 has been really a shedding, right? There's no coincidence that it's the year of the snake, which is a shedding of an identity and how we identify ourselves with money. And seeing the increased amount of job loss as well, that in this regard, when we associate job, we consider it, tied in with money. So that is, the current system that we live in at the moment. We're talking about the energetic journey of money we've all been going through in 2025, the year of the snake, and what's preparing to open as we shift into 2026, the year of the horse. And also just taking advantage of this as we begin to enter in 2026 and prepare at any stage, right? Because we all go through different stages as well, whether that be to the collective, but each individual person will also be experiencing different levels of this as well. So if you've been feeling a lot around money this year, fear, contraction, scarcity, confusion, or even exhaustion, you're not alone. In fact, this has been part of a collective shedding process that the snake year is famous for, and I'm no exception to this. So, and as we are now in December's gateway, December 2025, there is a very specific energetic opening happening that is actually preparing your nervous system, your identity, and your frequency for a much more expansive and accelerated relationship with wealth in 2026. And so this is what this episode is about, to really activate you in that and prepare you as well. So today we're going to go deeper into why money felt so intense and why so many of us experience financial shedding and how this is actually preparing us for financial freedom in the horse year. At the end, I'll guide you through a gentle meditation to help you integrate the final energies of 2025 and open yourself to receiving in 2026. So 2025 was a number that equals to 9 and is the year of the snake. The snake is all about shedding the skin. It has many attributes to it, right? It's about healing as well, which is why the snake was always a symbol. If you notice in the hospitals, they use the intertwined snake that looks like a DNA. And so that can also be attributed to the Kundalini awakening. So, in a way, this is also like another form of Kundalini awakening, also. The snake teaches transformation through letting go, and it strips illusions, attachments, and identities. And money has been one of the biggest identity structures we've had as humans in this current structure of this societal norm that we find ourselves in. So it begs the question how we value ourselves, how we measure success, how we experience survival, how we relate to safety, and even how we relate to power. So when the snake year entered, money became one of the biggest areas of inner transformation within us. Now, as I've mentioned in the previous episode, money is a tool. So it's really about the energy that you wield for it, right? That, use it for the greater good of service and being of service for others in different ways. And so that is where a lot of the energy, is also shifting, I would say shedding and changing and shifting is in our belief systems, in our perception to what we consider it is, that the stories that we have built up within ourselves, we've been carrying around. And so that's what the snake year has been shedding is those different belief systems. So this year for collective, soul questions like where have you been earning from survival? And usually when I hear the word earning, I think of, having to prove your worth when that word is used. So it's really about, how you want to perceive it and how you want to embody in a different way. So where have you been proving your worth? And so again, that ties into the whole earning word itself. Where have you been operating in fear? And what financial or money identity is ready to die within yourself? So the snake doesn't take away what's meant for us. It just takes away what's no longer aligned to the frequency and the soul that is really shifting. Like today, that I'm recording this on a Sunday, I really feel much more different than I ever did. It's almost like I'm looking at things for the very first time in a very different angle and a very different perception. And I find myself looking at, certain objects and I'm like focused right at the details of it, its structure, its color, um, and the material. It's almost like I can penetrate and see right through it, but also sensing that energy that goes deeper within it. And so that's where I really feel that many of us are feeling this shift right now, are feeling this really a great inner transformation that is waking up. For those, who don't resist. Now, if you just let it go and surrender to what that is, you will go even deeper. It's like going into the deeper rabbit hole, and you will come out to be a very different person of who you were always meant to be, at the soul essence of who you are, and the divinity that you hold within yourself as well. So in 2025, many of us shed, old business strategies, old income sources, old beliefs about earning, scarcity programming, ancestor trauma around money, past life vows of poverty, the hustle consciousness, the whole rat race consciousness, and identities tied to income. And so a lot of this was presented to us for the releasing, for the shedding of our identity around these things. This year pulled money back into the body, into the nervous system, into the energy field instead of the logical mind. And this felt like a financial uncertainty, a fatigue, a loss of motivation, identity confusion, and questioning everything. And all of this is really okay because that is all part of the shaking up and a part of the awakening up to really step into the sovereignty of the divinity of who you are. Because by our divine rights, by our soul essence, we already are abundant and prosperous. It's just a matter of seeing it for ourselves and embodying it and recognizing it and being aware of it. So, in all of this is really a detox within ourselves as well. So, we're in essence, you could say, is a detoxification also. So, it was clearing the frequency field so that you could enter a new wealth timeline. And this month in particular, December 2025, is like a recovery gateway. It's almost like a moment of silence, a moment of stillness, and really getting clear on yourself. We're the year ahead for the new year of 2026. So it's not really about pushing, it's not forcing or launching, but more of like restoring the nervous system, recovering energy, integrating the shedding, and letting the new identity land in your body. And that new identity is just molding but it is coming trueness, from the authenticity of your soul essence. So you can think of December as being an energetic rehabilitation. So you're not meant to be like in huge performance this month, but really more like in this recalibration. Um, so if you're tired, this is why. And if you're motivated, this is why. If you feel done with the old way of making money, this is exactly the point. I feel that this is a turning point where, if you're feeling this, is that there is a better, a more flow, abundant way, which is the natural and authentic way in our soul. But it's a matter of letting go old programming that we have been programmed in a different way in these societal norms the way it is now. And a lot of that's being shed. And so, yeah, it's scary. It's an uncertainty. And certainly not saying to ignore any of that and what you're feeling and what's coming up for you as well. It's being with it. And in that moment of being with it, then you're also allowing that surrender to emerge the aspect of you that was always meant to be in abundance and be thriving. And as I've mentioned, money is a byproduct of this abundance, right? Currency changes all the time. So whatever new currency emerges, it would all be a part of the same energetic frequency that we establish. And what Nicholas Tesla always said, the universe is all about frequency, vibration, and energy. So that's exactly where we're shifting the most into, right? Because it really does feel like there is this cycle of ending that just occurred at the beginning of December, this timeline jump or this timeline shift that we just went into, where it felt that it ended a cycle of this separation that we've been on, this frequency playing in the background for eons. So we're moving at a very accelerated quantum speed, which is why, all this acceleration is happening to really re-embrace and re-emerge back into that unity consciousness, the Christ consciousness, which is all connected, it's all part of it, that we were always, meant to be, that we always had. And it's just a remembrance. It's just a coming back home to it. So the year of the horse begins, brings in 2026, we're looking at this now. It's a momentum, it's a movement, it's a freedom, it's an expansion, acceleration. I really love the horse. By the way, I used to take horseback riding lessons. And one thing that I love about horses is that they have such a big heart. And if you ever find yourself near a horse, right? And this could be a time also to go, you could just go hang out near a horse and you could feel the energy of their heart. And it's so expansive and so healing, just being around, the horses. And I've always felt that for me, when I went horseback riding, that was the main reason why I loved it, because I really wanted to be near the energy of the horse, right? And it's just not just the heart, but it is a heart center, leadership of strength and of momentum. And that's what 2026 feels like. And what makes this 2026 even more potent also is that it is the element of fire. So fire is like igniting, right? It's like a passion that is igniting within. And so for me, this is all also linked to how we reestablish ourselves with the frequency of our own wealth. And that is all related to money. So in this aspect, right, the horse doesn't walk, it runs. It moves us forward at this quantum speed because things are really accelerated now for these coming years. Probably the most up to like 2032 of like new frequencies of energies that are coming in constantly. And this is what my guides have been saying. My own council of archangels share this information. I tune in with them on a daily basis to get a read on the energy of us and the years to come. So, but only once we're no longer, once we're no longer carrying these old identities, right? If we keep resisting and wanting to go back to the old ways, it's going to make it hard for us. It's going to make it, really hard to really step into this new identity. So allow it to emerge from you. Feel into your heart, where it is now, this flow of energy that wants to go in that direction. So the point of this year wasn't, about making money, talking about 2025. It was about becoming the version of you who can receive money from a higher frequency, which is why I feel like when the old identities are shed, that we're able to step into 2026 in a whole different way. So this year prepared your nervous system for wealth instead of survival. For those who have been, had their carpet pulled from under their feet and had the shock, of like losing a job, this is really what's happening, at this time when you allow a moment of that to let go of identities where you feel are linked to money and to a loss around that. So something to really you know, take with you and integrate. So it's really about the shadow integration, right? Whatever's coming up, whatever fear is coming up, right? All of that, you can use that as your fuel to be your catalyst, to reinvent yourself, to be in your own state of your own sovereignty, where you can say that the power is within yourself to really shift that frequency, to embody that frequency of the wealth that you are, of the abundance that you already are. And that includes the energy of money and how you relate to it, your relationship to it, your identities around it, that whole reinvention around it. And this all ties into the new human template that is beginning to emerge this month in December. I would say after the solstice is going to be a huge turning point, a huge gateway of a turning point energy. So, for this, I invite you for this meditation and to help you with tuning in to yourself and allowing yourself to let go of old identities and really just putting it closer to 2025 and preparing yourself for 2026. And of course, you can come back to this meditation whenever you find yourself in that state of the in between, right? When you've had a loss, it doesn't have to be exactly in the year of 2025, is whenever it lands in your view, is whenever you receive it. And that is the right time for this transformation. Unlock your limitless potential with the monthly multiversal circle of creation. This sacred quantum manifestation ritual will awaken your inner power and connect you to the successful versions of yourself across the multiverse. Clear blocks, amplify your creative energy, and set powerful intentions for abundance, love, and possibilities. Activate your galactic aspects, recalibrate your nervous system, and manifest your dreams with cosmic clarity. Available in person and via Zoom. Join us for this transformative experience today. So take a moment to get comfortable. And if you're driving or moving, just take the words in through your awareness and come back to it. And listen to this as often as you so desire. So let's just take a deep breath and just feel the prana of the air as you breathe it in, the life force, and just releasing it slowly through your mouth. In doing so, you're releasing any tension or anxiety for the week or the day. Close your eyes if you can and place one hand on your heart and one in your lower belly, your solar plexus. So we have the heart chakra in your solar plexus here. Breathe in slowly through the nose and exhale through the mouth slowly. And as you exhale, as you're letting something go, let's just do it one more time. Inhale. And exhale, releasing, letting go. So just feeling the energy of your hands, of your heart, and your solar plexus. Now, in your mind, picture a golden snake. It's a friendly snake. This snake represents the entire financial identity you've been shedding this year. You don't need to fight it. Just witness it and observe. No criticism, no judgment. Silently say, "Thank you for what you taught me. I release you with love." Now imagine the skin of the snake falls away, and underneath the old identity is a new golden light that is brighter, shinier, that begins to rise in your body. That is like the Kundalini energy within you, the golden light that you feel through your spinal cord, vibrating and pulsating. This is your new wealth frequency. This is your soul wealth. This is your receiving field. Feel light moving through your heart. Feel expansioning, opening through your chest. Feel freedom awakening in your belly. Now see a horse approaching you. The horse represents 2026, or it could represent a golden horse at any point to whenever you hear this. Feel the momentum, the movement, the freedom, and the wealth evolution. Place your hand on the horse's heart in your mind to just tune in to that heart of the horse and the fire, the sacred flames of its passion, of the movement, of the wealth frequency that you hold within. And say silently, "I am ready for new momentum. I am ready for new wealth. I am ready for new expansion." Feel your nervous system relax. Feel your energy soften. Feel your body open. And now take one final deep breath. And when you're ready, slowly return to your body as you exhale and release. And you can always take longer pauses as you so desire with this meditation. So, in closing, 2025 wasn't about losing money. It was about losing the identity that controlled money. And as we enter 2026, money begins to respond to who we truly are, not who you were trying to be. This is the beginning of a new wealth timeline for the new human. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for doing this work, because the work that you do for yourself is also the work that is helping the quantum field and the collective, and is shifting the entire timeline for us to be in the timeline of acceleration, to be in the timeline of our abundance and our prosperity. Thank you for being here in this moment of this human evolution. And if this resonated, take a moment today to just rest or breathe or be still. Your nervous system is completing a massive cycle, one that will actually bring the acceleration you've been sensing for a long time. So, with that, I will see you in the next episode. And I will conclude with the Star Trek statement of live long and prosper. And catch you in the next episode with all my love. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to click like, save, and share with others so they can also experience what you just experienced. And stay tuned for some more high vibe episodes. And I'll be connecting with you in the next quantum field. Sending you so much love.